Hi everyone, Debbie here. I wanted to talk to you today about fear. Obviously an emotion that we've all experienced at different points in our lives and can find that that can stop us from moving forward in our lives in a whole host of ways that we might like to move forward. A couple of great tips that I've learnt over the years about fear. One of them is that actually the body is not capable of experiencing fear and gratitude at the same time. So a great little tip for lessening our experience of fear is actually in that moment to pause and think about what we're grateful for in that moment. So if, for example, you're doing public speaking is a classic one that a lot of us can struggle with, and you're all afraid and caught up in knots, if you take a moment to take a deep breath and think about what you're grateful for. Think about your gratitude for your knowledge on the subject that you're about to speak on, or think about your gratitude for your own learning. Or think about your gratitude for the lovely day that it is. Whatever it is for you, taking that pause to actually consider what you're grateful for in that moment can really calm you down and release some of that sense of fear. The other great tool that I learnt is from an author called Russ Harris. And he talks about fear. He breaks it down as an acronym and then talks about moving it from fear to dare, which is effectively like moving it from being paralyzed by that sense of fear to then actually taking a form of action. So the fear, he breaks down the F of fear to be when we're really fused with our thoughts or our emotions. When we have no distance from them, we're not able to see them objectively, we're really stuck in them, we're fused together with them. The E in fear is then for excessive goals. So if we're putting too much expectation on ourselves and we're getting overwhelmed by the sense of what we're trying to reach for, where we're trying to go. The A in fear, let me just check my notes, yes, is the A in fear is for avoiding discomfort. So coming back to our comfort zone, wanting to stay safe and unchallenged and feel comfortable. So, and avoiding that sense of that stretch or that discomfort. And then the R in fear is being removed from our values. So not having a clear connection with what it is that we value in the long term. And so if we're not really connected with what it is that we're valuing, then we tend to come back to that place of valuing comfort and staying in comfort. If we're really connected to our values of, for example, perhaps we value growth, perhaps we value deep engagement with life, perhaps we value authenticity and clear communication. Whatever it is that we value, if we're not clearly connected with those, then in that moment they won't help us move forward. We'll stay in the space of comfort. So then moving that from fear to dare. The dare he breaks down as the D being for diffusing from those emotions. So finding a way to get some distance. And there's lots of fabulous mindfulness practices that you can do. Even simply just pausing and taking a breath and asking yourself, what is it that I'm feeling or thinking in this moment? And that enables you to get a little bit of distance, really acknowledge and honor what's there for you and present. So we're not trying to squash it or deny it, really honoring that. And then with that distance, we can choose what we want to act upon. So we're not then driven solely by our identification with that thought or emotion. We can then be driven by something higher, something that's going to take us where we want to go, which is where we come back to the values. So then the A in Dare is for accepting discomfort. So one of the best ways that we can create so much more in our lives is by getting really comfortable with being uncomfortable. We're not talking about a level of, the trick is getting enough of a level of comfort that you're stretching yourself out of your comfort zone without so much that you're actually putting your body and your emotions into quite a high stress state. So it's finding that stretch without overwhelming yourself. So that's getting comfortable with discomfort. Then the R in Dare is all about realistic goals. So it's getting really clear on what our goals are, having an experience that they are possible for us. Even if they're a stretch, it's good to stretch ourselves, but we then also have a sense that we are capable of reaching that stretch and that we've broken it down into manageable pieces. So we have very clear next steps in mind that are achievable and aren't throwing us into overwhelm. And then the E in, just looking at my notes, the E in Dare is then embracing those values. So having that really strong connection with what it is that you value, kind of reminding yourself, reconnecting in with those and allowing those to actually help be a driving force that dictates your movement forward. So that's how we move from fear to dare and creating a level of action. I hope that that's been interesting and helpful for you, and I look forward to hearing how you go at implementing it. Bye for now.